everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here, and I am ready to bring you commentary track for Season 1, Episode 5 of the Acolyte, Night. So Episode 4 was Day Man. Episode 5 was Night Man. And so we're on Kofar. Let's just dive right into it. We're on Kofar. Osha wakes up, it's night. Osha wakes up against a rock that we saw, May's master, the stranger, just kind of go whoop to, and just kind of toss her aside like a ragdoll. So she wakes up against the rock. She finds Pip. She hears like lightsabers going off and like kind of fighting in the distance. She trips. She sees a fallen Jedi, which is like wild. It's, and she gets up, and it's actually the pushback remnants that we saw from the end of episode 4. It definitely looks like a red hand now, and it's very similar to like the crate salt in The Last Jedi, where it was all white, and then the ships, those little like diggers or like draggers underneath some of those ships, the rebellion ships and the resistance ships or whatever, and they would then shoot up red. Well, that's kind of what it was looking like here a little bit, is that it was all like black. Now that could have also been blood that was like dampening it, and that's something that I actually kind of didn't think about, but I immediately went to the crate salt kind of thing, that that it was actually all like dark ground, but like underneath it when you like mash it, because we were talking about the death that was in that forest anyhow, but like when you push it up on the other side, there would be like color or whatever to it. So I really like that. I thought that was just like really cool to see that like red hand, that very like Sith looking kind of thing there. Osha is watching as the stranger takes out Jedi after Jedi. Hits it's insane. Hits 2 Jedi, like takes out 1 Jedi, hits 2 other Jedi's sabers like out. Which my initial thought was actually it was Beskar, but it's actually Cortosis. And Cortosis is a expanded universe, like the old Legacy books and expanded universe EU that they did for like the 30 years in between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace, basically. So in between that time they did a bunch of books and stuff, and like they're doing it now currently with like Marvel and Disney and everything. They did a bunch of book series in the High Republic era. They've done all kinds of different comics. Like I think a new Ahsoka comic is coming out relatively soon. They just did Mark Bernardin just did a 4-issue run of like Mace Windu, which was fantastic. They've got a Jango Fett one coming. They've got a new Darth Maul series and stuff, and then obviously there's High Republic comics as well, which I think is part of this like latter part of the waves of like releasing stuff in that and whatnot. But there's a ton of other Star Wars comics, Doc Aphra, all kinds of stuff, Vader, Star Wars, and all of it. So all that stuff is really good. I definitely I've read a lot. I definitely don't collect it, like get them regularly. If anything, I'm reading most of that stuff probably digitally, just because there's so much, and I definitely don't have the room for it to like be able to keep it and own it. Should probably start getting that stuff more so from the library, if I'm being honest. That's where it's at. But Cortosis, in the end, it destabilizes the saber. That it shorts it out basically, and that was like really cool to see, because I hadn't really seen anything like that previously. We've only ever seen like Beskar basically hold up to a lightsaber, not necessarily short it like that. Not that I can think of. I don't think we've ever really had like an image or a shot like that. But anyhow, loved all of this. This was all really great. And I can't believe that like we saw that. Yord ends up getting like a cut on his leg, and takes out a blue back to the stranger and everything there. Cuts Yord's leg a little bit, not off, but like gives him a nice little cut on there. The stranger takes out a blue wielding like lightsaber Jedi, then stabs through a yellow lightsaber, and then draws another force pulls another Jedi who is behind the yellow one. They're both now stabbed through like the chest basically, and then the stranger takes it out and they're hidden behind a tree, but he decapitates them. Like you can just tell it where he hits them. It's wild. Then the stranger goes back to Yord. We get Osha fires a stun gun, and Osha is told to run, and May grabs Kalnaka's lightsaber, and Osha is running through the forest. Stranger throws a lightsaber. Soul deflects it back, and as he deflects it back, it's the scene that we got from the trailers and stuff before, of seeing the trees fall and everything like that. And then Soul is like, Soul, civilian to the ship, and Yord is like pushing Osha to the ship as well, as like, come on, let's go. Then we get the title sequence, and whoo boy, whoa, what an opening, man. Just great opening before the title sequence. We're cooking, baby. We're cooking here. This is some good stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed this. All of this was great. So after the title sequence, we get back to the Kofar Forest. It's Yord and Osha. They find Basil. They start heading back to the ship. Osha wants to go back, and really wants to go back, and Yord is like, Soul gave me an order, take you back to the ship, that's what we're gonna do. Then we get a cut back to Soul and the stranger, like, who are you? And the stranger's like, you don't remember me? Soul's like, I sense something familiar. Then we engage in some quick strokes, and Soul's like, you carry a Jedi weapon, but you are no Jedi. May leaves Kalnaka's place, then is immediately attacked by Jecki. And this is a great fight between Jecki and May, because it's two Padawans basically fighting each other. And Jecki really holds her own and is trying to arrest May. Jecki does get kicked out of Kalnaka's place. And then we cut back to Soul and the stranger, and the lightsaber battles between Soul and the stranger are phenomenal. Some of the best that we've gotten in a long time. They're just so great. I'm just loving this stuff so much. It's so good. It's very samurai type of shots of you see the sort of running, shuffling of feet and stuff. They take things that you don't normally get in Star Wars itself, usually in the movies proper, but there's so many other influences from these types of samurai movies and stuff throughout Star Wars that they never usually include something. It was cool. That was just one of those things that I just remember seeing all the time in any kind of samurai movie. So that was really great to see it. I loved it. It was so cool. So Soul's like, you trained May, show your face. And the stranger's like, and let you read my thoughts? No. Again, I was like, is the helmet Beskar? But after this episode, kind of learning about what it is, I found out it's Cortosis, and that's from the expanded universe, as I said, those original not the original, but those books and whatnot, it originated during that stuff. And Soul is now kind of trying to poke the stranger bear here, being like, what kind of master hides their face from their pupil? And the stranger's like, you tell me. Then we get a cut back to Jecki and May. Jackie gets a cut on the leg, screams. Yord and Osha hear, and like Osha's like, Jackie, and like Yord's like, yo, she's a Jedi, she can take care of herself. You know, we need to get you to safety. You know, that thing is too dangerous. Soul, and then we get a cut back to Soul and the stranger engaging. Soul is pushed back. Saber turned off. He's slow to get up. Stranger's gone. Osha and Yord, and like Osha, like to Yord is like, what is he? You know, Yord's like, he doesn't follow rules of combat, no method to movements. It doesn't make sense. Gets in your head and like stays there, you know. And Osha's like, my mother could do that. You know, get inside a Jedi's head. And then they're like, where's Basil? May has a knife to Jackie's neck, and Jackie ultimately bests May, which is so great. I loved seeing this. Jackie bests May, gets the handcuffs on May, and the stranger is coming in hot to fight Jackie. Jackie v. Stranger is a great fight. Stranger, you know, is talking directly to May here, and it's like, you can learn something from this Padawan. They're a loyal pupil. And they're a loyal pupil. Stranger does the the saber trick, cuts off the saber that Jackie has. What the stranger didn't know is that Jackie also has Kelnaka's lightsaber, and is actually able to block it. This also gives Jackie enough time to have her saber relight up, and now she's using two sabers, very similar to how Ahsoka uses two sabers, which is great. So after Jackie blocks with Kelnaka's saber, May takes off, and Jackie and the stranger are still engaging. The stranger sees like May takes off, and and moves like forward, like very hard on Jackie, cutting like one saber in half, and then the stranger's gone. Yord and Osha get back to like where the bugs were, and Osha tells Yord to turn off his saber. The light attracts them, and Yord's like, attracts what? And is like, points up and is like, go slowly. We cut back to May. May's running. The stranger is tracking her. And like we get this like cutbacks between like May and the stranger. He's like, coward, you're going to betray me. And then finally May and him are face to face. May is asking for forgiveness. May says that she was weak. Stranger says, you've always been weak, and goes in to strike. But Soul shows up, pushes the stranger away. Jackie engages, then Soul. May runs again. The stranger force grabs May to stop. Jackie is blocking May. The Jedi re-engage the stranger up against the rocks. May is scared. We get a cut back to Osha and Yord, with Osha hearing young May say like Oshi, and Osha then leads the bugs. Like Osha and Yord then decide to go back, help back up Soul and Jackie with the stranger, bringing the bugs with them. Soul, Jackie, and the stranger are fighting. Stranger knocks Soul's blade out. Jackie and the stranger are engaging. Jackie gets the gets the stranger's helmet knocked off. Stranger pulls a second blade out from inside of his blade. It's not like Darth Maul where he lights up on the other side. It's more so like he pulls it out like that, which was pretty sweet. Um, and like, oh man, pulls it up, lights it out, and this was so sweet. Jackie is attacked. She blocks one of the stranger's blade, but the stranger then stabs Jackie 3 times very quickly with the other one, basically putting a triangle through like her chest and like right here, and Jackie is dead. She falls to the ground, and we see the stranger is revealed to be Khmer. Wow. A lot of people thought this. I wasn't against this being Khmer because I thought it was pretty heavy-handed, especially parts of episode 2. It really leaned into it, but like episode 4 was like almost like if you didn't get it after episode 4, it was kind of tough. I think so. This reveal here wasn't like super shocking. I kind of wish it could have been somebody else, but like this also makes sense here. Like I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. And like, you know, the fact that, you know, Jintu, he's giving a killer performance. Like him as Khmer is completely different than the stranger or anything that we've seen here. So like, I love the depth that he's given us here. It's really great. So like, I'm not mad at it. It's a fine reveal. It's a great reveal. It's very interesting though that like May wasn't able to tell who it was, especially with how much time they spent together. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out that May always knew. And so they did give away a lot, telegraphed it, like I said. But like the dude Manny is truly amazing in this role, as I said. We get a quick shot of Osha, who like feels the death of like Jackie. Like that's the only way, because it's kind of like an kind of thing like that. They were friends and they possibly could have ended up being lovers at some point. And like she talked about like kind of feeling stuff a little bit differently before. So I think she's tapping back into the Force now. I think this is this is it. And like Soul. Now we get a cut back to Soul and Khmer, and Soul's like, Jackie. And Khmer's like, oh, is that what its name was? Like, is that what its name was? And Soul's like, she was a child. And Khmer's like, you brought her here. And then turns to see May. Khmer throws a cloak at Soul, grabs May, and like was like, you didn't really know it was me, even deep down? Like, come on. Soul attacks. Khmer basically is brushing it off pretty easily, if I'm being honest. It's like kind of crazy. And he's like, you attack me while my back is turned? Not very Jedi of you. And then he turns the saber off and like throws it. And Soul's like, what are you? And Khmer's like, I don't have a name. Jedi like you, though, might call me Sith. And why risk discovery? Well, I did wear a mask. What do you want? Freedom. To wield my power as I like, without having to answer to Jedi like you. I want a pupil, an acolyte. She went back on our deal. She exposed me. Now I have to kill every last one of you. I don't make the rules. Jedi do. They all see my face. They all die. Look at you two. Right back where you started. Talking to Soul and May. Helmet starts to move. Yord and Osha are here. Yord lights a lightsaber. Khmer knocks it out. Yord uses the helmet then to knock Khmer out. Khmer is way better at hand-to-hand combat, is able to knock off Yord, but then also completely turn it around and break Yord's neck. May takes off again. Osha fires the stun gun, hitting May, finally. May goes down. Soul takes on Khmer in hand-to-hand in a hand-to-hand fight. This is really great. This is like super awesome. Soul best Khmer, lights lightsaber. Osha calls out to Soul. Shakes head, don't. Khmer calls Osha. This is your master. Laughs. You trust him, even after everything he did to you? Soul responds. Soul's response to it is like, his mind is twisted by darkness. And Khmer's like, I've accepted my darkness. What have you done with yours? And Osha calls to, Soul to look up. The bugs have arrived. So Soul sees, and he's like, the Jedi do not attack unarmed, the unarmed. Khmer gets up. Rules, rules, rules. Never follow them. Never have to break them. Osha turns on Pip. Says goodbye. Osha puts Pip on the back of Khmer. And the bugs come after him and take Khmer up. And he starts slicing and dicing away at all of them. And man, is that crazy. And then, so Khmer's gone, and Osha's like, why did he say that? And Soul's like, what? What? And so, why did he say that? Why did he say I shouldn't trust you? What did you do? Soul's like, please, Osha, I'll explain. And then we get the stun gun rises. May brought it to herself, shoots Soul. May and Osha, yet again, just by themselves. Sun is rising, moving closer. May calls to Osha. It's like, what have you done? What have you done? I did what I needed to do for you, for our family. Everything you've ever done has been for yourself. All of these lives lost tonight, again, because of you. This is Osha and May now. And May's like, Jedi got what they deserved. And Osha's like, the Jedi are more my family than you ever were. And May's like, have you forgotten who we are? Where we come from? They invaded our home. And Osha's like, invaded? May, no. You're the violent one. You started that fire. I would have been dead if not for the Jedi. And May is like, they've brainwashed you. Turned you against me. The sun is rising a bit more, peeking over the mountains. And then May's like, it's okay, Osha. I can help you. Help you return to yourself. Weird, like a force projection almost over there, help you return to yourself, like force projecting or something. I don't know what that means. May moves in to hug Osha and is like, I love you. Don't choose them again. Please choose me. Choose us. With the chooses us, Osha returns the squeeze, squeezing of the hug. We both survived. Osha looking a little concerned. May's like, all we have is each other now. Osha is crying as she pulls a move. And tells May, you're a criminal, May. You must pay for your crimes. And May's like, what are you doing? And Osha's like, what I came here to do. Arrest you. May's like, don't do this. Did this, and Osha's like, you did this to yourself, May. Followed a false master. And May's like, so did you. May turns the tables on Osha. And Osha's like, leave Soul out of this. And May's like, he stole you from us. And Osha's like, you saved my life. Saved my life. What kind of life is that? Life without purpose. Life without love. Life without um, uh, like like life without knowing like will lead you nowhere. Like Osha ends up getting out of May's like little armbar. May force throws Osha off a small ledge. You know, I thought for a second there, I thought Osha was actually dead. I thought that was definitely a farther of a drop than it was. But Osha is not dead. May May even says to Osha like, "You can never block." May cuts her own hair now to look more like Osha. We get a cut back to Khmer. He has killed all of the bugs, knocks off Pip, and Basil finds Pip. Soul wakes up. May is pretending to be Osha now. Soul and is like, "Soul, are you all right?" And May's like, or Soul's like, "Where's your sister? Where is she?" And May's like, "What do you mean, your sister? She's gone." And May's like, "Oh, let's just get to the ship. Let me help you." May as Osha helps Soul get all the way back to the ship. We see the same people at the ship at that little like port landing area or whatever. On the ship, May is still pretending to be Osha, and Basil follows. Back in the Kofar forest, Khmer finds his helmet, his cloak, Osha looking like May, but seeing the tattoo on Osha's arm, confirming that it's actually Osha and not May. We get like Khmer like talking like even in the revelation of our triumph, you see the depths of our despair, and like he's covering Osha in a cloak, puts his hand on her, and the episode ends. Well, before that, Khmer like force heals Osha a little bit as well, and that's where we also see the tattoo on her arm, and we get the whole final. I can't believe I skipped it. The whole final thing Khmer is saying is like, "What extraordinary beings we are." Force heals the cut on Osha's side. She turns over, confirming the tattoo on like Osha's arm. Even in the revelation of our triumph, you see the depth of our despair. And then he covers Osha in a cloak and puts a hand on her. Then the episode ends. I am incredibly excited for what comes next here. These last two episodes have been great. Episodes 4 and 5, we've been cooking. We've been adding so many great like new things. I'm so excited to see what happens here with Khmer and Osha. I want to find out if Soul finds out that it's secretly May that's with him. I want to know what's going on here. I cannot wait to see what else happens for the rest of this series. We've got 3 episodes left. We got episode 6, 7, and 8. So we're definitely in the final. We're in the back half now. We're in the final stretch. I'm really excited to see what episode 6 brings us. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I am JimmE with the Triple C Collective. Hope you all stay safe. Please like and subscribe to our video and to our channel. And as always, may the Force be with you.